This is the Minetta Lane side of a Mexican restaurant called Panchitos. And as you can see, the management is quite fond of not only the color red, but of big banners that celebrate one of the top 6 margaritas in all of New York City. As it did 50 years ago, the building runs through a whole block, and you can either enter from MacDougal or Minetta. Before it was Panchitos, it was a coffee house called the Fat Black Pussycat. And before it was the Fat Black Pussycat, it was a kind of hangout for chess enthusiasts called the Commons. But it was on the Minetta Lane side of this building, late on a Monday afternoon over several cups of coffee, that Bob Dylan wrote Blowin' in the Wind before taking it over to Gertie's for Gil Turner to play that very same night. We're at the corner of Thompson and Bleecker, specifically 160 Bleecker Street, and that sign up there is all that's left of the Village Gate. Now, to the best of our knowledge, Dylan never performed at the Village Gate, but he did have a friend, Chip Monk, who lived underneath in a basement apartment. And so in September of 1962, somewhere near where CVS now stores their generic cold medicines, Bob Dylan wrote "A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall." The basement bar called the Alibi Room has been through a number of changes, but in the early 60s it was called the Gaslight Cafe. It's referred to as a basket bar, meaning performers had to pass a basket in order to collect tips from the audience. And the Gaslight didn't serve alcohol, so in between sets, the musicians went upstairs to the old kettle of fish in order to drink. Dylan played here early and was recorded often. The Gaslight was the first place he ever played Masters of War. And in 2005, Columbia Records co-opted an old Dylan bootleg they called Live at the Gaslight in 1962. The disc contained 10 songs, including A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, written around the corner in a basement apartment on Bleecker Street, and Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, inspired by a heartbreaking separation from his girlfriend Susie Rotolo. And then they sold it exclusively at Starbucks. Just 2 spots on this block of MacDougal Street, the Cafe Wah and the T-shirt gallery, outwardly reveal a Bob Dylan connection. The Wah, of course, is the place where this all started, and they're promoting a Dylan anniversary show on January 29th. The T-shirt gallery can't lay any claim to history itself, but it's in between the old Gaslight, the old Kettle of Fish, and Izzy Young's Folklore Center. And the T-shirt gallery has Bob Dylan and Greenwich Village T-shirts available year-round.
That much interested in
right.
that kind of music
right.
surrounding Bob Dylan and Jimi Hendrix and everything. This guy pretty much deserves the
either the credit or the
blame.
One of the two.
Yes. Help me. Lifeline.
He will call his cousin
Freewheelin.
Freewheelin is the movie. That's something you probably don't remember. There was a lady, she was in, let's say, mid-50s, and she stopped by and said, oh, Bob Dylan, blah, 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 here and that. And here is the leaf from the Bob Dylan garden, because by that time she went to the backyard of the MacDougal apartment,
wow.
which is some kind of garden whatsoever. I don't know if
there
it's
is a garden
abandoned or
in the back.
Yeah, and she picked it up, and when she saw the T-shirt, she thought that he is also a big Bob Dylan fan, so she shared with him.